And what's up, guys? As some of you guys might remember our Cadillac burnout video or our Valentine video, well, there was a little bit of something that happened right after we were done recording that, and we got a little bit of a cell phone footage, so I'm gonna drop that right before our normal scheduled programming. So guys, sit back and enjoy that. Also guys, we got a new logo made, so it's gonna start popping up in our Instagram and our YouTube channel, so don't be alarmed if you see that. But guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Oh my goodness, I can't see anything. Wait, hey, I might bump into somebody. Check this out. That was bad. Whew.
Hey, Eddie, you
that was much? Terrible.
What's in the shop?
This car.
It was a third gear burnout. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. So this might have just changed a little. Fire alarm went off. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Get this out. Get this out. The neighbor's fire alarm just went off. Don't go! No. And we never ever saw him again. This is bad. Really bad. That's the beast that did it.
There's no fire. There's no fire. Burnout. Yeah, you're doing burnout. You guys are on pretty figured. One more minute, there's gonna hose us in here.
Yeah, I mean, it got upgraded from a fire alarm to a full business fire.
Oh, no way.
They're doing burnout in here.
That was for the YouTube channel. So dumb.
Oh, they put the axles back.
What's up guys, and welcome back to the Car Wars YouTube channel. Today is the day where we're actually going to be installing the supercharger onto our 2011 Corvette Grand Sport. Now the awesome thing about it is A&A provides a step-by-step detailed instruction on how to install this supercharger kit. So first things first, we got to pull off the front bumper so we have access to the radiator, because we have to install that intercooler, and after that start pulling off the intake and just go from there. Alright guys, so Peter took the bumper off, took the intake off, and this is where it gets fun. So what you gotta do is you gotta cut those pieces off right there so the belt clears it, because the belt will be rubbing up against these. They're not used, this is for the ZR1 application. So we'll be trimming these off, and then also this little corner right here this is just for clearance. Just so the belt can fit, because it's gonna be pretty tight in there, so we gotta cut that off. So let's get working on that. Alright guys, so this is how it's supposed to look. If you look, they are cut down, so there is easy access for the belt, or where the belt goes. It's nice and flush. So this is how much you guys actually have to chop off. Check it out. Feels weird cutting it off, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You don't need these.
Think about the weight reduction. That's actually another good part about putting this supercharger kit is you just lost this much weight.
That much weight. It is aluminum, you can barely feel it, but a little bit of weight. Also, we had to knock that little part down right there so it clears for the belt. So check it out. That looks nice. Alright, so what we gotta do right now is pin the crank pulley. So this is the 6-rib pin kit. And what you gotta do is get to your crank pulley. And that's a template kit, and you gotta drill it in and put that little pin in so your crank pulley doesn't spin on your crank. I guess once we take it apart and get to it, I'll show you a little more detailed. Alright, so Peter's gonna be pulling the radiator right now. Radiator fan. Gotta give us a little bit of room because it's a bit too tight in there. Let's see if we can get to it. Got that. Nice and easy.
Man, I love these instructions. Nice and easy.
Step by step, get into it. Okay, so we made some space. We actually loosened this sway bar right here. It came down and then pulled out the fan from the radiator, loosened the ABS module, and then also loosened the two bolts on the engine mount. And we will be picking up the engine right there. Ed's doing it, and the engine is coming up just so we can have access to this harmonic balancer bolt. Okay, that's enough. Okay, so we have to drill a hole to put a pin so the harmonic balancer doesn't spin, because now it's gonna have a supercharger spinning off of it. Alright guys, so this is what we had to do. You see that? We had to put that little pin in there. Now we have to put the main bolt in. Just tying it down and it will never spin over.
Alright, so we pinned the crank. Now we're gonna be putting the radiator fan back in, and then we're gonna be trimming it so the intake tube clears it. So right now we have to drop this radiator support bracket, whatever it's called, and put spacers so it lowers the radiator down a little bit, and then we have to relocate the horn so the intercooler piping goes there. So right now we're going to be draining the coolant because we have to relocate some of the coolant lines. So let me show you. So this little T-fitting, pretty much it's in the way where the unit is going to be sitting. So we're going to be moving it right here to the side, out of the way of the supercharger. And to do that, we have to drain the coolant and then cut these hoses. And they provide some additional hoses. Yep, we're gonna get to that. Alright, so our hose has been modified. It's all been cut, trimmed, and this side has been extended. So now we're just gonna put it back in. So I got this hose modified, and now it's time to start putting that supercharger bracket. So here it is. Just gotta start figuring out how it goes, because it has a bunch of spacers, different type of bolts, washers. Just gotta go through and see how it fits up. Supercharger bracket installed. It's not tightened down yet. We're just test fitting it, figuring everything out. It is a little complicated at first, but then it starts making sense. Alright, so right now it's a little bit confusing. Probably the most confusing part of this whole installation is installing this catch can, trying to figure out all these hoses, how they run. And we have to figure it out before we mount this bracket and tighten it down. Alright, got the bracket bolted down. Had to pull it off like 4 more times. And now I got the unit assembled with the bracket and the belt routed the right way. And right now I'm gonna be putting it in here. I have a feeling this isn't gonna be like a one-time thing. Probably gonna be pulling it off one more time, but hopefully not. Alright guys, check this out. The head unit is officially in. We actually got it in first shot. So it is actually mounted down, tightened down. The belt is on there tight. The tensioner is on. So this is all set. Now we need to figure out the intercooler piping and the intake.
So we got this straightened out. Now Peter's gonna be installing the intake and the piping, intercooler piping. While he does that, I gotta install the booster pump. It goes somewhere in there, so we gotta lift it up, take it apart, get working on that. Alright guys, so while Peter got the intercooler on, I ran the booster pump. You run the little boost switch from here, you run it through the rocker, and it comes out right here. Look at that. Nice and neatly tucked. We got our wires right here. The wire runs through the rocker, and then you just tap into the original plug. So this is all set. Now time to put the intake on and the intercooler pipe and the rest of it. So Peter's been working on getting the rest of the piping on, like the intake and the charge pipes, and I'm gonna be working on swapping out the injectors. Alright guys, so we got everything buttoned up. We got all the little hoses run, the little ones, all the clamps on, everything. So all the little miscellaneous things are all on. Every little clip, zip tied some hoses. So we also put in the antifreeze, but we need to start it up so we can heat cycle it because it's not taking it in. And we got to start the car up just to see if everything works fine. We got the exhaust on, so it should be a lot quieter, but let's get this baby started. This is gonna be the first time with everything actually put on. Let's hope it works with the new fuel injectors. Oh. Really shaky. Dang, that thing is loud. We got some smoke. It sounds a little interesting, but we got the big injectors in, so I mean, yeah, it's blowing some smoke.
Alright guys, so the supercharger is installed. Everything seems to be working properly. We started it up, but the fuel injectors in there are 80 pound. They're much bigger than the factory ones, and the tune that's on there, it's a stock tune, so it's running crazy rich, and I mean, it wasn't even idling properly, so we shut it off. But we already have a tune scheduled here in the next few days, so we're super excited, hoping to hit over 550 wheel horses. So stay tuned for that. But overall, the Vette is turning out pretty sweet. The exhaust sounds pretty loud. I mean, I didn't think it was gonna be that loud. We do have the valves open, but man, she roars. So can't wait to hear what that sounds like on the dyno. But guys, subscribe, like, share this with your friends, and see you guys on the dyno video.